What's going on, everybody? Paul here. Thank you for joining us here at All In today. What we're going to be doing is 4 idiots and a playlist. And as you can see, we're back, the 4 idiots. So we're going to start off on the left. Let's everybody introduce ourselves. Juice, why don't you go ahead and go?
Hey, man. It's your boy Justin, a.k.a. Nasty Tom. Tuning in, giving us another try, hanging out with these idiots, quote unquote. I'm looking forward to today's discussion. We got our main man, Mr. Paul. We got his mixtape. I'm looking forward to talking some shit, giving him an honest truth, and maybe put him in his place finally. Maybe.
Somebody needs to.
Yeah. Somebody growling.
Chris here. More or less what Justin said. We're gonna go over this playlist. We're gonna take it layer by layer, and probably aren't gonna do a lot of shit talking, but also try to be honest and make sure we're sincere and it's coming from the heart. That's what's more important.
It's coming straight from my dig.
That's where the heart is.
I mean, same thing.
Yeah. This is Chad here, a.k.a. Cody with a K, a.k.a. Raspberry Corn Muffins. Just ready to dig into this playlist, and I hope you ain't waste my time. I didn't listen to the playlist. I didn't know we were actually going to need to. But, no, I listened to it. I slept through it a couple times, and yeah, looking forward to giving you some feedback, man.
How about spit my fucking?
I was like, shit. Are we about to lose another member to an untimely circumstance?
Hey, man.
Shit. First it was, old. I'm not even gonna say his name. First it was the real one taken out by the bus, and then it would have been our boy Chris with the liquid just choking him.
I've never been so scared of Charlie's as last week, man. I'm telling you. I thought y'all was sending people for me.
Hey, them Bay County Charlies, boy, they'll get you.
Man.
Yeah.
If they miss you, they'll kill you with the noxious cloud that follows them,
Yeah, but they'll also back up too. Mercy killings.
I heard it was good for the environment, though. I heard
crazy ass Bay Charlie boy.
Trees love that
they
shit.
be on one.
Plus, global warming. I like it when it's warm better, anyways. So.
Why we live in sunny states?
Oh my god,
sunshine.
Y'all wildin'.
I'm trying to keep it warm.
Yeah.
Fuck the Penguins. That's what? I'm taking a firm stance right now. Fuck the Penguins. I don't care about them.
I never say Penguins anyways.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe y'all opinions are y'all own. That's all. I'm a distance.
No, I speak for everybody.
Yeah.
We all speak for everybody here.
Oh god.
What a penguin never done for me. I can't eat a penguin.
I mean,
penguins do know for me.
You can't. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna cook you up some penguin.
Wait.
I hate them, but because I love them so much.
Do you think you can eat penguin? And would a penguin would it taste more like a bird, or would it taste fishy?
Whoa. Save it for the should we eat this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, put it this way, guys. All right, if penguins have been dead for months or even years now, would it change your life at all?
Unless you're a seal, seals eat them.
That's less content for me to get one off to. So I mean,
If all the cows are dead, that would definitely impact your life.
I mean, I
But
guess
if all the penguins are dead, would it impact your life at all? Would it change your day-to-day life?
I mean, are the cows dead and we freeze dried them?
All dead. There's no more cows.
I mean, but we can freeze dry them. Like I'm saying, like we got
They're gone. There's none to freeze dry. They're dead. They're gone.
Nobody's saying the dead ones. What if we freeze dry?
Cows gone.
I mean, then we're gonna move on to penguins for sure, and then they're gonna die, and then we got to get that sweet.
There it is. I see, Justin. That's why you're in this podcast. See, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
See.
Yep. I mean,
when the cows go, that's when the penguins. That's when they're important. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We can move on now.
At that
All
point,
right.
giraffes. So just
let's straighten that out.
Giraffe beef.
Also known as the long-necked cow.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't know that.
Don't know it, but we just figured it out. We got it.
You didn't know you was going to learn something when you came on this podcast.
And they thought we were idiots, but we told them, and we.
You gotta think. See, you gotta think.
Use your brains.
I thought giraffes were closer to horses, though.
It don't matter. No. I mean, horses on the table too. Are you trying? You are nasty. You trying to eat a horse? Is that what you're talking about?
I heard you say
a lot of people eat horses.
Some people eat horse.
You right,
horse steak.
Horse steak.
Mongolian
I want to
blood
know if
horse.
you could tame a giraffe. I gotta look that up. I'm looking that up.
This is spiraling bad.
Yeah, we're gonna get us back on track.
Wait, what was this about again?
Paul's gonna edit all this out.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Can it be grilled? That's the name of this podcast.
Can it? 4 idiots and a grill. Huh?
4 idiots and a grill.
Oh yeah.
Hey, now that does sound good.
Yeah.
Let's
Put
that
some kebabs on.
Hey, I got them kebabs.
Some penguin kebabs and some giraffe burger. That song.
I would try a draft burger. I would probably
y'all
try
give me some penguin kebabs. I'll season them up. Trust me, them things will be delicious.
In all honesty, though, if we could eat one endangered animal, I would like to try the manatee. I think that'd be a tasty.
It's all blubber.
It's prime rib, dude. It's
I don't know. I feel like there's some. I feel like there's some good meat there.
It's got a lot of muscle swimming that little tail thing along. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, put that little tail thing in your mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, you seen them when they get hit by the boat propellers, man. They cut slices into them, and you can see the gristle on the outside, but the meat in the middle is good, dude. I'm telling you.
And Paul eats the tail, so
I do eat the tail. That's my favorite thing.
He'd be all about it. And after all of that, how do we even fucking begin? How do we ring this back in, yo?
Yeah, Cody, Paul, you're the line tamer.
What I'll go ahead and do is let's go ahead and talk about the. So it's called Growing Pains. What I'm gonna do is kind of sit back, and these guys are going to talk about their opinions and how they feel about the songs and the playlist as a general, as we did with the last one. So what I'll do, we'll keep it kind of brief on my end. Each song that they go over, I'll just say, how I felt about the song, but I won't get too deep. And then at the end of the podcast, I'll talk about the playlist as a whole, how I feel like it gels together. They may not agree, so I'll wait until after I hear from them, go over what they said and how I personally felt building the playlist.
How you felt personally attacked.
Yeah, how I felt personally attacked, how angry. I'm going to flip everything in here by the time this is done. I'm going to rage.
Hopefully Chad nailed it down beforehand.
I've already broke everything that could be broken.
Broken already?
There's just nails through everything.
We're literally in an empty room. All the furniture is gone. I'm sitting on a milk crate.
You're lucky you got the milk crate. All right? I didn't even get the milk crate.
You can't break a milk crate.
That's going out the window at some point. Hopefully you nailed it down.
They start building houses out of milk crates, and even the little pigs, that should have been the fourth house that everybody moved in when the brick one fell.
Milk crate?
Oh, you're right. Milk crate.
Milk crate.
And also, we're going to try it, a little differently this time. We're going to start off with Justin, and then the next one we'll start off with Chris. The next one we'll start off with Chad, and then we'll go from there. But so Juice, how about you go ahead and take it away, man?
I mean, I don't like being put on the spot, but I
think we need our own voice.
Yeah, man. Chris, go ahead and give me the name of the song.
The first song, "Boy and Bear" by the artist Pogo from their album Ascend.
Yeah, all right. I think this song actually helped set the mood for the album. Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, I won't really touch on, but I did like the vibe. And for whatever reason, it filled me with this sense of melancholy. And I mean, I was like, okay, this is really a good opening. The only issue is when I started listening to Paul's mixtape, I was actually working out. And it was kind of funny. I think I had started working out listening to Cody's playlist last time. And I was like, okay, this is great, whatever. Unfortunately, while you're working out, maybe that's not, that first song on Paul's playlist wasn't maybe the one song I wanted to hear. It was almost like, okay, I'm over here trying to, toughen up, push past this, and I'm over here feeling like having feelings. I'm having emotions.
You ever cry in a Planet Fitness?
You can't have no fucking emotions while you working out. Like what is happening?
You better be in a judgment-free zone when you're crying at the gym.
You set me up for failure from the jump. I'm over here trying to push past. I can't. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna just drink some water and go lay in a corner and cry. But seriously though, the beat really was dope. There's this artist we both used to listen to called Porter Robinson, and it reminded me so much of that. But it would be like Porter Robinson, but you guys remember auto-tune news, with the Shomoyo or whatever. It also reminded me of that. There's no way Pooh should be fucking auto-tuned, but they made it work. It was real. I couldn't tell if he was trolling me. It was just one of those songs when I first heard it. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna pass on this. I'm good on this. But then, as the week went on, I listened to it more, and like I said, I realized it did set that kind of mood, set the tone for the album. Where we're gonna start at is here, and then we're gonna kind of, just vibe with it and go all around. But yeah, man, good choice. Like I said, it's tough to set a mood for a playlist from the jump, but I think you really succeeded in doing so. So good job, my man.
I had probably a complete opposite experience from you, Justin. But I will say, the first time I listened to the songs, I usually listen to the playlist when I'm at work. And I tell you, I liked this. The first time I heard this, a couple times I heard the song, I liked it. And then we were heading down South Florida, and in the van, I put on the playlist, and this song came on. And I guess because I was able to focus more on the song, I liked it a lot. And to me, it was more like a childlike innocence is what the song, to me, was what was trying to portray in the Growing Pains, which is the title of this playlist. So to me, it was just very, very lighthearted. And I don't know, I really, really, really like this song. This is probably my favorite song on this playlist. And I actually added it to my main playlist I listen to on kind of shuffle. So yeah, like to me, it had a very lighthearted feel to it, and I love, like you said, I love the beat, and it did set the tone, like you said, for this playlist. And as you know, we go through this playlist, you'll see like what the tone was. I mean, you can probably tell from the title "Growing Pains," but yeah, I really, really like this song a lot.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was a good one to start the playlist with. Whimsical, like the title of the playlist is "Growing Pains," so you start off kind of in that nursery, you know, in the nursery, you know, you got the Pooh and different stuff. Had a good beat. It rolled along. Yeah, the auto-tune Pooh. Who saw that coming? And that was pretty wild. And you know, it had good layers to it too. So you know, it had a beat that kind of rolled along. And yeah, I mean, you know, any Winnie the Pooh song, you know, which this is my favorite Winnie the Pooh song that I've ever heard, aside from the actual Winnie the Pooh song.
Slim Pickens, right?
Yeah, yeah. But on a side note about Winnie the Pooh, it was funny that you put this song on there because not only a week or two ago, I watched that Goodbye Christopher Robin movie. Y'all seen that thing?
Not yet.
Man,
I heard of it, but yeah, I haven't seen it.
Spoilers. Apparently, Winnie the Pooh ruined that kid's life. The author's son ruined his life.
Oh
really?
yeah.
Like
yeah.
It made him famous, and they were just such small town, you know, folks, and the world blew up beating.
He had nothing to do with his son.
Yeah,
the writer of the books or whatever he did.
Oh wow, yeah, I had no idea.
He didn't really have much to do with his son. His son, yeah,
I could kind of figure.
Yeah, it was kind of a sad movie, but I mean, it ends okay, you know. But it was it's a ride. But anyways, I had no idea the story behind that A.A. Milne book was so dark on the backside of it. You know, I mean, everybody loves Winnie the Pooh and all this stuff, but this literally was a little kid's imaginations that this author, you know, had kind of neglected his son and then turned his attention towards this time that he had with his son. He was kind of forced into a situation where he had to kind of spend time with him, and instead of just kind of having that between him and his son, he got rich off of it and provided for his family with it. But at the same time, the kid's like, hey man, I never asked for all that fame. I didn't want everybody to know me as Christopher Robin, and you know, it's wild. I ain't trying to spoil the movie, but anyways, side note, yeah, Winnie the Pooh has a dark side. Who knew? But yeah, the song was good.
I think we all know.
And
you could see it in his eyes.
Definitely put a good theme out there. You know, kind of flowed right into the next song.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go more in depth in these songs at the end. You know, like I said, I want to hear from everybody first. But as far as Boy and Bear goes, I, like they said before, this title is the playlist is called "Growing Pains" for a reason. And to me, I know not everybody, but for me personally, Winnie the Pooh was a huge part of my childhood. I grew up watching Winnie the Pooh. I had Winnie the Pooh books. You know that. I loved Winnie the Pooh. I mean, honestly, I'm a grown man. You put it on, I'll still watch it. Like
it's a good movie, man.
I think like it's just good. And so
let's not get into that. Let's not.
The newer one. The newer one was
we're
good.
Gonna take it here? Are we gonna mid fucking podcast? We gonna take it here? I don't want to shit on you.
Came out like 2011. That Winnie the Pooh movie was good.
Hey, he's wearing Winnie the Pooh footy pajama bottoms right now.
I'm gonna watch that shit tonight.
I'm only wearing a red shirt and no pants on. I'm completely nude down bottom to kind of set the theme. Chad's been giving me some weird looks, but I think he likes it. I think he's into it. Yeah. You know. But
I can see your piglet.
I thought you were talking about this now. I was like, oh shit. Shit. That's what those smacks were a little earlier.
But
yeah. That one honey smacks.
But yeah,
love when it's
Boy and Bear has two sides to it. The side that Justin sees and the side that, you know, Chris and Chad were talking about as its light side, and we'll get into it later, but once you kind of really listen to it, it has a deeper meaning. But yeah, that's it for me. So, Chris?
All right, the next song, Big Kids, the Bergie remix from the artist Luker, I don't know, Luker, and Bergie from the album Big Kids Remix Extended Play.
Wait, Fergie was on there?
That's what I thought.
No, it's her cousin Bergie, I think.
Fergie. Oh, you didn't say
Yeah.
I thought you said Fergie. I'd have definitely liked it then if it was Fergie.
Boy, we'll get into Fergie later, but
Bergie's the large
I
goth
love
version
me
of
some
Fergie.
Fergie, boy.
I know you. Hey, that's a quick way to Paul's heart and your heart. Y'all.
Fergalicious.
Oh.
Fergie. Okay. Anyways, all right. That'd be like another 20 minutes right there. Okay, so all right, this
Chris,
song I love this song a good bit too. This song to me, when I started the first time I listened to this playlist and I listened to Boy and Bear and this song came on, to me it had a very beginning of the summer feel to me. Like I don't know, like when the first song stopped and then this song came on, it had a very like the summer's starting. I'm ready to turn up, get the party going, But I love the beat of it. I love the intro to the playlist. I mean to the song. I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings. But I could definitely see where it's some of big kids. You're getting older. The first song you kind of like that adolescence, and this one you're kind of going to the teens. You're getting kind of more rambunctious. Hanging out with friends, going to parties. That kind of stuff. So I like the song. I think it fit right where it is. Like I mean, he put it there for a reason. I mean, this was a very methodical playlist. So yeah, I dug this song.
Yeah, I'm following your chronological coming of age playlist. It's got a real 16 Candles feel to it to me.
That's the highest praise I've ever heard.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, Molly Ringwald, man. Talk about a rabbit trail.
Hey, well, hold up. That's
I would go down her rabbit trail.
Molly Ringwald. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy.
Talking about
you got a thing against redheads or something, Justin?
Hey, I'm not trying to get myself in trouble now. So
yeah, hey.
I like redheads. Not saying it's my
thing.
We'll
keep it pushing. All right.
Let's keep it moving. I'm just not trying to incriminate myself.
This song, like every song on the playlist, there was one song on your playlist that I actually knew the artist. So I'm digging that. I'm getting exposed to some new stuff. But it's not a lot like Plenty of Fish. You get exposed to a lot of things. Some things you don't like, some things you like. As somebody who's been married a long time, I know a lot about Plenty of Fish.
Oh my God! Like I knew something was coming. God.
But this song to me, like it was the next evolution in the kid coming of age, in Paul's adolescence. It's the time when Paul left his Winnie the Pooh blanket and pajamas and started smoking in the playground with the other kids, because we know he was real rebellious when he was young.
Smoking with cigarettes.
Yeah, he started hanging out with the cool kids. But here's the thing I got from this, like, okay, when you were young and you see the big kids and they're kind of, some of them are bullies and stuff, and you think, man, I'm going to be a nice big kid. I'm not going to bully the kids around. I'm going to be a true, like, playground leader, And then you get to be a big kid and you get to bully people around. You get drunk with power, start slamming people off the jungle gyms and stuff. And
your childhood was completely different than mine. But
I don't want to. I don't want to miss my chance to be the king of the schoolyard, because, like, in this song, it seems like that he just kind of. He was like, okay, now it's my turn to be the big kid. Not like he didn't take the high road. He's like, okay, I probably was going to take the high road, but instead I'm the big kid. I'm running the schoolyard now. So I felt really intimidated and harassed by this song. I give it 2.
Intimidated and harassed?
Yeah, I was bald in the 3rd grade. That's the problem. And I had a beard, too.
Speaking of bald head,
I don't look much different than I did then. So you can see how I got picked on.
Damn.
So.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
man. I think when it came to this song for me, it was. I know the whole album was supposed to be like growing pains. It's supposed to tell a tale or something like that. But really, it was probably in this. I can't say this for a fact, but it was one of the more happy songs on this playlist. Like literally, like I said, for me, the first song was kind of melancholy. Just because of that beat. As far as like lyrics, there really wasn't too much. They mentioned, I think, what's, how does one do nothing or whatever, in this song, he was literally just like, now that we made it, we don't give a what, and I also kind of like that they chose not to cuss and they made a point of saying like, hey, we're not going to cuss. We don't need to do that. That's whatever. Overall, like
they're not that big of kids.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, yeah. I mean, but no, like legit. I just thought this was really one of those like, it was an upper. Like it was like, okay, we're up here. We made it. We're doing good. And like I said, it was a little different for this album. It was a little different for this album. I kind of like the message they were putting out. But yeah, man, good job so far. Like I said, first song flowed really well. Second song kind of brought me up. Like it was like, okay, well, like I said, because when I first heard this, I was working out, so it's kind of like I'm here, and then okay, this beat's kicked up. It's got a really dope beat, really amazing subject matter. For me, wasn't really, like I didn't feel like I had to listen that hard. But of course, you always miss some stuff when you're doing something else. But I felt like I didn't have to listen that hard. I kind of got the message. It was really kind of upbeat. And as far as like the growing pains, I'm still like trying to put everything together. See, like, hey, what's this thing? Where's this fitting in? But like I said, second song, pretty good, good choice. I enjoyed it. Wasn't something I was gonna save. I know that we always kind of come back to that. I wasn't necessarily gonna save it, but like I said, it was a nice change of pace for me at that point.
Fergie-licious.
Yeah. So Big Kids, and this is of course the remix, which I dug that. Y'all keep talking about Fergie. They weren't actually in the song, but if Fergie was in the song, now I'm upset. I wish y'all hadn't even said Fergie, because now I'm just mad that Fergie's not in the song. So now the song is just done.
This song was good, but Fergie was in the song more.
It'd be better.
But no, it
about a Grammy.
It definitely is a follow up to when you're an adolescent and you're playing with your toys. You put those toys aside. We're big kids now. But I don't know, Chad. This is not about being mean. These are good kids. I don't know where you would off on that tangent.
It's a fresh opinion.
Man, anybody in the third grade who has friends is an enemy. If you ask me,
he's
what I'm saying?
Not in the third grade. He's like, growing up, and he's talking about like, hey, we can be different. We're big kids now, and like we're leaving.
Like
these
when you're wearing pull-ups. I know what you mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Or easy ups. That's what.
But Luker,
I potty on my own terms.
Luker is a. I just actually found this out. Luker isn't very well known yet, which is a shocker, because he's very good. This isn't his best song that he's put out, but when I heard this song, I was like, this is actually one of the songs that brought this playlist together, because I love Luker. Like I think he's great. He's got this kind of like. He's got kind of a country sound, but he's more like rock and progressive. He's got a very different sound to him, in my opinion. But yeah, so this song, it definitely to me fits in right afterward, and like this is one of the happiest points of the playlist. It is the last song. It has some deeper meanings, but we'll get into that later. This one it really is just, hey, we're big kids. Things are about to be cool for us, guys. We're big now. And maybe
finally,
maybe that's not how it always goes. We all want to grow up.
I've never got there.
We all want to grow up, but maybe growing up isn't as easy. There's a lot of pain in growing up. But yeah.
Preach on, brother.
All right. The next song is Ghost by the artist Ryan Caravello. I probably pronounced that wrong. From his album Ghost.
Yeah, I like that song. I thought this was probably one of the better songs on the playlist for me. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was if Pooh was the schoolyard childhood nursery rhyme type song, and then the other one was the big kids, which could be anywhere from like 3 to 18 apparently. I wasn't following along the timeline of so great. This song was like kind of like the teen angst, like in this song, this person felt like I could just disappear, I could just ghost, and I liked it because it had kind of it seemed like a mesh of like 3 different genres. Like it had a little bit of a lyrical flow to it. It had a little techno feel, and I think that at the peak of it was an upbeat song. A lot of these were upbeat songs, and it's continuing to kind of build and follow the chronology, but I don't know. I mean, once again, another artist who I'd never heard of before. Really a good song, something that I like, something that kind of moved along. For me, if there's a lyrical story to it and it's got a good beat and a good flow, I can get with it. I can fuck with it. So it was decent. I liked it. I thought it was a good song for the playlist. I actually saved this one to one of my other playlists.
Gotcha.
when I'm hanging around younger people.
True. Well, yeah, man. This one right here, like, it was kind of funny that Chad, aka Cody with a K, mentioned that this was, one of the catchiest songs on the album for him. Personally, it was my favorite. Like, as soon as this song came on, I was blown away. But also, he mentioned that this was, the beat technically was really kind of upbeat. It was just the subject matter kind of, really was like a little dark and depressing. But it was more of the fact of way he was doing it. He was like saying, before he gets to the point of like he's talking about like, oh, now I'm about to be a ghost and dip. He was like, when it's all working, I'm kind of just looking, I'm kind of looking and be like, okay, that's kind of cool, and I'm just sitting over here, connecting the dots. Like, he's not in himself as shit's going good. But when it's not that way, then of course he's just deciding to kind of become a ghost. I don't know, like, just there was a lot of little like bits of wordplay in it that I really enjoyed. I just thought the beat was amazing, his delivery was amazing. But at this point, I started to think like, hey, now Paul's trying to tell us something. This is his 13 Reasons Why. You know what I mean? Like, he's painting that little tale.
Here we go.
Every single playlist. Every single playlist, he's trying to tell us something, y'all. This is his cry for help. Like, on a serious note, like, let me dive back. But seriously, if someone had put this on a playlist and they just gave it to me, I'm kind of like, this person wants to disappear. Like, maybe not deal with all the harsh realities of growing up. The growing pains, as it were. So it's kind of like he said, like Paul said originally, he had his song opening up. He had the one, hey, we're big kids. And it was that point where like this, like, shit's real. Shit's not all, roses and gold, when you become an adult. And it was like, obviously this person, even the creator of the song, has felt that he wants to disappear at some point. So it was one of those things that's kind of eye opening. And when people start talking about they want to disappear and, they wish they didn't have to deal with stuff, it's definitely like it grabs your attention, because either A, they're just some troll, or B, they actually are going through something. So I think this song, even though it had a really light and amazing beat, it had some pretty, deep meanings and, stuff they talked about. But like I said, it was definitely one of those songs for me. I was like, I'm saving this. It's I'm gonna keep it locked and loaded, and I'm probably gonna check out more of the artist because of it. Like, literally, the dude's delivery for me was A1. A1.
He's really good. He's good on it.
Yeah.
I had probably the complete opposite from both of you guys. I've heard this song before, and then I'm not a huge fan of this song. It is really dark, and I think that's one of the reasons I don't like it. It fits good in this playlist, like where you put it in the playlist. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't be in this playlist because it does fit perfectly where it is, but
right.
I just personally don't like this song. And actually, when I listen to this playlist, this is one of the few songs I skip. But yeah, I like the whole I guess theme of this particular song about how, if in the order of this the playlist, you got the kid, then kid grows up, and then as he's maturing to adult, he feels like you don't know where he belongs, like maybe in this whole world of growing up. And like when we were growing up, you expect to go to college and have a job and stuff like that, and it's just kind of, I know at a point when I was going to school and working and stuff, it felt like every day was the same exact thing. You wake up, go to class, go to work, come home, go to bed, wake up, go to class, go to work, come home. I mean, over and over and over again, back to back. So it just felt like you was on auto mode, and you did feel like a ghost. Like those days where I felt like I didn't really talk to anybody, So yeah, I don't like the song, but I like what the song's talking about, I guess I should say.
Gotcha. And I mean, I get that. I kind of see that. I know for some people it might hit a little too close to home, and it scares you away. And I mean, obviously, Chris is the one. He wants to disappear, y'all. This is actually
this is his 13 reasons why.
Apparently, there's a lot of cries going on here.
Yeah, it's too close to home.
I mean, Chris is in his attic right now, so he kind of is like a ghost. I mean,
oh god.
I see that.
Oh,
yeah. What is that?
Chris, no. Don't do it, Chris.
We're on our way.
Don't do it.
We know you miss Cody.
I'm coming to beat you, Cody.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home, Elizabeth.
Cody, I'm on the way.
All right, but as far as Ghost goes, Ghost goes. This is one song that it kind of helps too if you see the music video for it. And I had seen it. I was just messing around on YouTube one day and saw this, and the monsters that he's talking about, he makes his own monsters, and that's who he hangs out with. And it really, you're not good with people, and you've got so much stress that you feel, and you're not good at fitting in, because I think we all realize that, as we get older, for some people it is, not everybody, but especially people who are more introverted, like you feel that when you're growing up, like going to college and getting work, you have to put yourself out there. And so there are times, like, Chris was saying, like, you want to just become a ghost and be in the background, and so that's.
Let me touch on that. You brought it up when there was actually that lyric in the song where he was like, I'm creating the monsters that I'm hanging out with. And I know in like an imaginary term, like the video, he's creating his monsters, whatever. Generally though, the monsters could be, like, let's say, alcohol, a way to escape, pills, whatever. Like those could be the monsters, or it could be those people that, like, in a good sense, like those people that are like-minded. Like you found your core group of people. Maybe that's the way you want to look at it, like whatever it is. But there are some people who realize, like, hey, this group of things is the only thing I can relate to, and they kind of draw this circle around themselves, whether that's booze and drugs, or whether that's
toxic friends,
our toxic friends, our good, just something like that. Like it's one of those things. And I kind of like that he put that lyric in there, because he gave meaning to it in the video. But technically it could be anything, it could be anybody, it could speak to a lot of different people. So like I said, just for me, I love that you put this song on here. And I'm actually, as soon as this finishes, I mean, honestly, I think I'm done. I'm gonna go watch the video on repeat. Y'all go ahead. I'm over here. Y'all do y'all thing. Go ahead. Give us the next song, Chris. I'm about to find this real quick.
When he said he creates the monsters he hangs out with, I just thought of the Rumpus Room on Where the Wild Things Are. It was like kind of the mental.
Oh yeah,
it is.
It is that. It is that. Yes.
Yeah.
Let the wild rumpus start. All right.
He's a nerd.
The next song is "Smiling on the Surface" by the artist Real Friends on their album Composure. Yeah, I think I'm up, right? Am I up?
No, it's me. It's me, baby. Let me shine. No lie, like I said, this is where things kind of started to change for me, because literally I felt like I was kind of tolerating the first two songs. Then he dropped that amazing third song, and then this one right here was just my fucking jam. I feel like a lot of the songs and the playlists that Paul makes, there's always that song on there where a person is smiling to hide the pain, is doing one thing when there's an obvious like cry for help or whatever. And like I said, this may be him reaching out, and I'm gonna ignore it. I'm not even gonna pay any attention to it. I'm not giving him damn help. But legit, this song, like this song, like it was just it made me like awake. Like it was like, okay, I'm paying attention now. Like if somebody had told me the things that were being said in this song, I'm obviously like going to try to talk to them, to try to reach out, to try to help them. But that is also a part of the growing pains. Like when you're growing up, like there's gonna be a time where shit's not right for whatever reason. Bad job, bad, your girlfriend, cheating on you, you're now a cuck. It's embarrassing. You don't want to continue, dealing with being a cuck. At the at the end of the day,
no one does.
I mean, some people love that shit. Some people love it, but legit, like there's all types of bad things that could be happening, and sometimes the easiest way to deal with it is just to smile and pretend it's not happening. Because sometimes when you give into that, like you talk to somebody about something, it becomes too real, and then it becomes worse. So I just kind of found that these two songs back to back, or like one person wanting to disappear and trying to escape their problems, one person saying, hey, can't really deal with this at this time, so of course I'm going to put on all smiles, which happens. Like that literally happens with anything as an adult. Like you can't always just live in your guilt and just show it. Sometimes you just got to put on that smiling face and move forward. Hopefully things pick up and get better. But definitely two sobering songs, like back to back, like I said. And the thing is it's also my vibe, because it made me think of like that old school like 2011 2012 like kind of poppy punk vibe. A really like upbeat song. Like the sound was really upbeat, but the subject matter once again was really sobering, really like fucking intense. So I don't know. Like I said, it was at this point where I was like, okay, I kind of get what he's saying with the growing pains. You're going through this shit. Like it started out, down here. kind of brought yourself up. It's like almost that point you're at 18, you got the future in front of you, everything's gonna be good, and then boom, real shit starts kicking in, and it's been back to back. And at that point, I was kind of thinking, okay, well, something's got to come back to perk things up. There's got to be an upper, coming around here. But it was, like I said, I'll wait for my, to put my opinions on the other songs. But definitely two sobering songs that kind of left an impact. Like definitely did. And like I said, I'm gonna ignore Paul's cry for help. That's all.
All right. So yeah, I like this song a pretty good bit. Like Justin said, it does have that very pop punky feel to it. And the song is the title of the song is actually pretty self-explanatory. Smiling on the surface, which means like you putting a mask on for society to see. Yeah, everyone thinks you're okay, but really underneath, you got a lot of issues going on. But yeah, I think it's probably my second most favorite song on this playlist. I don't know. I love this song a pretty good bit, just as a song, not so much the material of it, which is obviously why you put it on here. But yeah, I liked it. I added it to my main playlist as well.
Yeah, I usually don't have a lot of these kinds of songs on my playlist, but I did like this one. It kind of had a good Charlotte feel to me, and I know they're a quality band, Paul Loves. So I kind of meant that as a backhanded insult, but I always like Good Charlotte, to be honest with you. But yeah, it had a good beat, it's upbeat, it's got that punk pop, feel, which, it's like if you get your tooth knocked out and you swallow it, and then you got to sort through your poop and try to find your tooth because you need that.
Damn, bro,
back.
You got some sayings.
You know what I'm saying?
You got some sayings.
that old.
You might as well be Goku.
Yeah, we all
got sayings.
Well, I stuck it back in for a while, but then people were calling me Captain Poop Tooth, so I just decided to leave it out. So, but
I mean, you know how to relate to us. You sure know how to relate to people.
So, so I don't mind sorting through a little poop to try to find it too. But yeah, this song reminded me of like on Tony Hawk when you were selecting your skateboard. It was like a menu song.
That's the highest praise you can give me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. There's a lot worse things you can do on a Friday night than listen to this song. But yeah, I got a good cry during the song, so it worked. All worked out. I give it 2 thumbs up.
So, but yeah, that smiling on the surface is as far as like musically goes, it's the one that doesn't fit in with the rest, and it was kind of like that on purpose, because the rest of it was some of it is, I wouldn't call it techno-ish shit, but it'd be like EDM-ish. Some of it is it's not just regular like the type of music I grew up with. What I'd say it's more like new age stuff. But Smiling on the Surface is that old school pop punk like type stuff, kind of like hardcore. Real Friends, great band. They're great as they are. They're somebody that I love a lot, but they are somebody who, when I was younger, this is a band that I would have listened to. And it is exactly
for sure.
Yeah, it's exactly, Smiling on the Surface. It is, I heard this song and it just really resonated with me. Even, kids growing up, you don't, especially I feel like when I was younger, I did not want people to know when I was down. I did not want to, I wanted everybody to think, no, he's got it together. He's got his shit together. It took me a long time before I was the fucking schlub you see before you now. Where I really let it all out. Like, in all seriousness, I would bottle everything up. And I did not want, like, if I didn't have, something for myself, like if I didn't have money, or if I didn't have something, I didn't want you to know that I didn't have it.
You think you ever fooled anyone?
No, probably not.
No.
He didn't.
Probably not.
Sorry, bro.
Good try though. Hey, early 20s, man.
Tried, yeah.
I did all I could.
When I asked Paul to go Taco Bell and he says, "Nah, I'm good," I mean, that's kind of
you know.
And he bought me the $5 box. He's good dude.
Nobody's good if they don't have a flaming asshole torpedo. I'm telling you, I'm gonna knock something over in here. I hope you're ready.
A bull in a china shop.
I swear, you literally got me. Dude, we're in a closet right now.
I'm just gonna call you Bald Bull. I'm gonna say Bald Bull for now on.
There you go.
You Bald Bull, huh?
We're literally in an 8x10 cell right now at the county jail.
Is that
He's
even a
fucking
wall
cell
behind
at the
y'all?
county jail.
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell's that smell? Charlotte
Ooh.
and Charmel, they got some jail going over there. They say it's
Oh
alcoholic.
damn.
Freestyle.
Ooh, that's good.
Jailhouse hooch, baby.
All right, moving on. Next song, "Dear Insecurity," featuring Ben Abraham by the artists Nash and Ben Abraham on the album "Dear Insecurity," featuring Ben Abraham. Man, they really wanted to put his name on there. All right,
Royalties, baby, royalties. He made 38 cents
in case
just
no
you
one
saying
knew.
that.
Just
That
you
made
saying
it.
his name.
Yeah.
if you're a
Fuck, we
fan
getting
of Ben
straight
Abraham, he is featured in the song "Dear Insecurity" on the album "Dear Insecurity."
Yeah, you better say that. If you don't say it, we getting striked.
Yeah.
All right, I like this song a good bit. It's one of those songs where the title of the song is pretty self-explanatory. It's very smooth. I love like the acoustic, of the song and the duo between the two of them singing. I mean, if it wasn't for the title of the song, you think this is a very like beachy, smooth. Got my umbrella drink, sit back on the beach, listen to the waves crashing. The Corona commercial. The Corona commercial. The people sitting there with the on the Cayman Islands. That's basically what here, but it's actually like a kind of a very inward facing song, talking to himself. Going through the issues that they're facing. So yeah, I liked it. I mean, it's not my favorite song, but it's a very good song. It fits the playlist. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I like this song too. I think I forget the name of the guy that was on it. I think it was Ben Abraham.
Something like that.
He has a very familiar voice. He was on a bunch of other stuff. He's kind of this.
It does sound very familiar.
Yeah, some kind of collaboration artist or something. I guess I don't know. But once again, one of the many people on the playlist that I'm not familiar with. But I like this song because it deals with insecurity, and I think that's a big problem for a lot of people. They either wither to their insecurities or they overcompensate for their insecurities. So part of trying to identify yourself coming out of your mid to early 20s, and you're trying to kind of establish who you are. You at some point in time you can run from that monster for a while, but eventually you're going to have to stare it down and come to terms with it, because if not, you end up projecting all this stuff on everybody else that people may or may not feel about you. One of my favorite sayings is you're not entitled to what somebody thinks about you. If they aren't willing to verbalize it, you can't hypothesize that that's the way they feel about it. So you can't get caught up in that. You end up fighting ghosts that aren't even real, that are so I like the content of it. That kind of like little whiny kind of talky voice that Ben Abraham guy has. It was kind of a little bit like irritating, a little bit kind of like I don't know why I'm so care about things, that kind of little squeaky voice. It kind of doesn't do it for me. But when you think of somebody who struggles with like insecurities and stuff, it had that little kind of like broken. I feel like the artist captured the sentiment of the song in his lyrics. So yeah, I mean, I like the song. It's not something I would save or bring about, but if I ever meet somebody in their early 20s who's struggling with some insecurity issues and stuff, I make sure that they get a hold of it so they can get it and maybe work some stuff out. It's kind of like a therapy session almost. But I liked it.
Looking out.
True. Hey man, I dug this song. I dug it a lot. At first I was really like about to write it off. I was like, man, now we into some real emo shit. Dear insecurities, but they're gonna take your hands off me. And hopefully we don't get I don't think we get
That's
striked
a
for that.
beachy vibe.
Yeah, that's a real beachy vibe about insecurity.
You know what I mean? Like that's the
When you break out your Corona and talk about
You know
how
what I mean?
insecure you are.
But like Chris is a real dark individual. He gonna fucking sit there.
Fuck his insecurities.
He
You
puts
know
this
what I
song
mean?
on at the
Living on
beach
my Corona.
with all his friends there, and everybody's looking at him like, "What the fuck you doing?" He's turned up with a Corona. This is good, guys.
Yeah, this is good.
Three people with him are crying.
Hell yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, like I said, when I first heard it, I was like, damn, more emo shit. But the cool thing about the verses is it was like the person stilled themselves more and more as they went on. Like each verse kind of was like, well, I am feeling down. I can't necessarily get away from this shit, but I'm dealing with it. I'm still growing. It's gonna work out for me somehow, some way. Like, it's working. And it was just like, initially the song itself just kind of makes it seem like this person's gonna be helpless and pitying themselves and this and that. But literally, it was almost like every verse they got a little stronger. And I think in life, that's what happens. You might have your down, things, but it's almost like Chad said, where you eventually have to stare that monster down. Eventually you can, and you start to figure out like, hey, I'm getting stronger along the way. And, hopefully that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. And, you end up being just a little schlub like the creator of this fucking playlist. But, like, legit though, like, when someone in a, bad situation slowly gets better and they're helping themselves and they're realizing that, and it kind of snowballs into where they're, finally happy, or at least enjoying what, their existence, that kind of stuff speaks to me. I'm like, that's awesome, that's good. Because this song could have easily just been something where it's like, yeah, I can't really do anything about my bad stuff, I can't help myself, this is just bad, and you sit in the pool and just let that just kind of wallow in it. Like I said, I just kind of like that this guy kept getting better and better in each situation. It was some fucked up shit happening, he still bounced back, and now he can kind of relate and talk and just kind of verbalize his his positive stuff, even though it had a real, almost a negative, vibe to it. But, that's me.
And a little whiny. Did anybody else get a whiny vibe?
It was whiny. I said, when I first heard it, I thought emo. I was like, okay, this dude's whiny. He's talking about the other guy's talking about insecurities. This isn't about to do anything. But it actually, I can't place the name of the artist. What I'll do is I'll find a link and put it on YouTube. But there's this artist. He's from the UK, and he almost has the same rhyme scheme, but like talking, like he's not really rapping, he's like talking. It's like almost like a sped up spoken word. Right. What I'll do is I'll find the link and I'll put that shit in there. But
is
like
his name
I said,
Ben
it
Abraham?
Interesting for me.
Nash is the whiny guy. Ben Abraham is not.
Okay.
I mean, it could be anybody.
Ben Abraham's name was all over it.
He's the guy who's like, "Dear Insecurity, when are you gonna let your hands
He's
up?"
the one with the guitar.
So he's
Nash
the one singing the chorus.
Yeah.
So Nash is the dude who was seen familiar as far as.
Hey, I gotta take a quick bathroom break, guys.
Okay. Well, let's talk shit about him.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So at the next, I'd say 30 minutes or something like that, the audio is going to be very wonky. Mine and Chad's audio is going to be very high. Justin and Chris, their audio is going to be a little low. And unfortunately, it's like double audio. There's a lot of reverb on it. We're not sure what happened, but Chris had to go to the bathroom and we were messing with some stuff. And so once we came back, I guess, I don't know if something got left open on our end or what happened, but we didn't realize it until about 30 minutes or so after we started recording this part. So there's a good little chunk the audio is gonna be, messed up. But we did get it fixed. The rest of the audio should be fine after that little bit. We debated whether we wanted to re-record or if we just wanted to keep it, with the funky audio. The problem is if we re-record, it's not going to be as fresh. It's not going to be like our first take, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be like I've already said what the songs are about, how my feelings on them, so they already know that it will feel like canned and kind of not so free form if we redo it. And we just really didn't want to lose that aspect of it. But let me know in the comments down below, if something like this happens in the future, which hopefully it doesn't. But if something like this happens in the future, let me know. Would you rather that we just re-record it, or do you want us to keep it like it is? Keep the content the same, or re-record it and try our best, to try and recapture that fire. Just let me know. Again, I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. It'll just bear with it. It'll level out. And like I said, for the next, from here on, it should be fixed. We shouldn't run into this issue again, hopefully. But yeah, just enjoy the rest of the video. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, so Nash was not the one that was doing the whining, But other than that, the thing I like about this song is that it grows just like the song itself embodies growing pains to me. It's not, it's not one of my favorite songs. I like Nash. I like, his other music, but this one really spoke to me because it talks about like how you feel at first and like how you are so insecure and how you just feel like you're not good enough, but then he grows as a person, and which is what growing up is. If you don't, if you later on in life you haven't grown past all this stuff, then you'll never get anywhere in life if you keep letting these insecurities get you. So I think that the song is very important, and it speaks truths that we have to learn. It's that thing, adapt and survive, or you don't, and you fall short. You perish pretty much if you don't overcome your own insecurities, which I think to a certain degree we can all. It's a song that everybody can kind of get with. Like, we all have our own insecurities, even if we don't want to admit it. I think we all do. So I think it is a song.
You don't want to admit it.
I think it is a song that.
You're just letting everybody know.
That was us.
Fuck y'all.
You looked right at me when you said that. You're defensive.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Fine. Well, fuck you. How about that?
Now you're talking.
Yeah, that's what he's into.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for that one.
All right, next song, "Eyes to the Sky" by John Billion from his album "The Separation."
Who's starting this one off? Is that me?
It's you.
Eyes to the Sky. All right.
4 idiots in playlist.
Yeah, that's me, man. You gotta wake me up. I dozed off for a second. Where are we? What are we talking about?
What day is
Who
this?
the hell are all you people here?
Hey, you gotta be smart.
I woke up in Paul's bedroom again. This is another one of those feel-good pop tech songs. It's got a little rhyme game, I think, but yeah, I mean, I can dig it. It's something that maybe I wouldn't try to, hype anybody or put anybody on. It's just a lot of the stuff on this playlist is not my cup of tea, but I like, I like expanding it and kind of hearing some different things, and definitely, Paul's cup of tea from the stuff he used to make me listen to on the way to work in his truck. And if you try to talk over it, I can almost hear, when I listen to this song, I can almost hear Paul telling me to shut up, quit getting that biscuit crumbs all over the passenger seat of his S10, and just listen to this crappy music on our way to work. But no, this song was actually pretty decent. Like I said, it had a good pop tech kind of flow to it, and the rhyme was pretty good. The lyrics were good, and it kept with the theme, the Growing Pains theme, which was a fabulous 80s sitcom. You ever watch Growing Pains?
No, but I know about it.
Yeah, you know of it.
I know
it's
of
legendary. I think everybody knows of it. But yeah, like I said, this would be a good song. Like if you're out doing something, or just kind of like a secondary, kind of like background type of music. But yeah, not something I would really save to a playlist or let anybody know I ever listen to it.
It's okay to be wrong.
I mean, yikes. I never thought I'd hear someone say that about John Bellion, who Paul showed me this guy maybe it doesn't even feel like it, but maybe 3 years ago, and I was ecstatic. Like, this guy is so talented.
I knew you would like this guy because you're a content listener. He dropped a lot of knowledge in this song too.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird, like from his last album to this, but he's also showing like some of the stuff he's having to go through. Like, I think in one of the lines, he's like, his girlfriend, was like, you deserve to be something or whatever, and and I guess he lost her because he was working too hard on this project, and it was kind of like, damn, because when his first album came out, one of his only stones was his girl. Like, I remember him doing interviews and all of this other stuff. Once again, Growing Pains. He's now fresh off of a hit album, maybe not like in sales, but as far as like notoriety, like he was touring hardcore. His sound is amazing, but once again, Growing Pains, sometimes after success, those closest to you can, start to feel a different type of way about your hustle, about your grind. So it was, once again, like, I felt like now that I'm looking back on it, really a lot of these songs, were a part of the growing process. They may not have actually spoken about specific growing pains, but some way, shape, or form in these songs that have, I want to say from like from song 2 technically to about now, like they've all shown some type of like change once you've grown a little bit. And I don't know, like I said, it was kind of hurtful to hear that someone didn't like John Bellion. I was in my bag a little bit after hearing that. I mean, I want to write Chad off this playlist. There's plenty of fucking buses.
And trolleys. And trolleys.
Chad. But yeah, man,
kind of Charlie, boy. Let me tell you.
Never even heard of that guy before.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts all day.
I mean,
really, they'll finish the job.
I like lyricists. I mean, I like lyricists and people who have content, and he puts together something good. But I never heard of this guy. It didn't sound that. Nothing really set it apart in my mind. It was just easy to kind of let this be a background thing for me.
And I'm kind of busting your balls a little bit because honestly, I felt the exact same way. Outside of telling the story of this like mixtape, this playlist, this was not one of John Bellion's best songs to me. Other people, it might come off to them as like, oh yeah, he's making this song and he's saying, I just want to be happy. And the chorus is very poppy, but literally he does talk about some bad stuff. And then he's like, I was gonna write this chorus, but literally I just want to say, I just want to be happy. And maybe that's just what he's trying to do. And in the context of this playlist, that's kind of cool. You just had this, this person who's smiling to hide their bad feelings, all what they're going through. You have this person who's slowly improving, and now you got this person who, even if they've got some shit going on, they're just trying to say like, damn, I'm just trying to be happy. I just want to find a way to somehow be happy. So, like I said, in the context of this playlist, I loved it. Is it one of those songs I'm gonna listen to again? Maybe, because I like John Bellion gets the benefit of the doubt. Like I'm gonna listen to his new album, I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna find out whether or not I really like it in the context of his album. Because sometimes you'll do that, and the songs hit you a little more. But yeah, I really thought it was well placed in this in this mixtape. I mean, is it one of those songs that's gonna stand the test of time? Can't promise that, but
I just thought
for a concept album, it's cool.
I just thought he had a hard time writing hooks like Little Dicky. So he was like, I should probably write a hook right now.
Yeah, the things that
you probably should.
Do your thing, Chris?
Yeah, I'm with Justin. Like, Paul turned me on to John Bellion.
I mean, Paul just
at the same time. Oh, that's true. But specifically John Bellion.
You're spreading this shit around?
And I've heard this song before. I've listened to some of his new stuff. And I agree that this plays my favorite song, but it is a good song. I like it. And looking at the playlist, you can kind of see how Smell surfaces it through his screen. As this guy, this is where he's kind of turning around. He's trying to trying to look forward, trying to say things aren't that bad. Keep my eyes on this guy. And John Bellion, I like him a lot, like you said, Justin. Like I give him the benefit of the doubt. I listened to his new album, and a lot of it's pretty decent. But yeah, I think right here is the perfect place for the song. I don't have a whole lot to say about the song specifically, but if you're listening to this and you haven't really listened to a lot of John Bellion, his last album was a banger. Like I think I liked about every single song on that album. Chad,
I agree with you. Yeah.
I had to check him out.
Definitely go back and listen to it. Yeah, I like him a pretty good bit. He's got some really good songs. I still listen to a lot of the songs on the last album on shuffle in my main playlist a lot. So.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we're putting out a lot of promotion here. Maybe we can get some of that John Bellion money.
John Bellion, pay me. Give us some money now. Pay me my money.
Hell, just teach me how to play an instrument or two.
You start throwing some money my way, dude. Great
thumbs
song. Great
best
song.
Guy.
Yeah, I am.
Got that code red money.
I'm for sale cheap.
Yeah, maybe we can promote you guys' place of work.
Hey.
Hey. Maybe.
I'm just
You're
saying.
gonna look at that and look like them two? You want them two to be a
Yeah.
These two fuckers? I thought you fired them a long time ago.
Joke's on them. We've been fired.
I'm not sure which job he's talking about. If you're talking about my restroom gig at the Gold Nugget, then I don't know. I don't know if I need to promote that place. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, that's illegal.
None of our viewers will know what the Gold Nugget is.
That's right. It's a gas station.
The casino in Biloxi?
I actually stayed there last time we was in Vegas. Anyways,
So I asked this guy. I was cracking up the whole time because Eyes to the Sky isn't his new stuff. It's from 2013. It's before any of us actually knew who John Bellion is. It was on his...
Some of us still don't.
One of his first albums. And that was actually why I put it on here, is because showing where he started out, on his album, he's like, I have my eyes to the sky. And that's why he talks about in the song, he's like, I worked so hard on this album and, my girlfriend left me, I'm going through these trials and tribulations, but I'm not going to let that let me down. I've got my eyes to the sky. This is going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going to grow with this. And fast forward a couple years later, look at him now. What he did worked. So this is going back to when his growth to where he is now is you did it, man. You said you were going to. You said you were going to keep your eyes up, and you did it. And from this may not be his best song. I actually did like his old album, but I think each album gets progressively better and better and better. He grows better and better and better. And he even talks about, I know you guys were talking about how this song is very poppy and stuff like that, but that was very important on this album because this is, like I said, one of his first major albums, and everybody wants that hook to get on the radio. He even says, I'm supposed to write a hook right here about money and bitches and, all that stuff. He's like, but I just want to write about being happy. So the hook itself sounds poppy, but he's not putting that stuff in there that would normally get you put on the radio.
But now Nate Dogg's dead, so he can't write hooks like that.
Yeah, basically you can make a song about, not to get too deep into it, but you can make a song just talking about happy this, happy that, and that's usually someone's gonna go around. What's the fucking song from Pharrell? Because I'm happy.
Yeah.
You can't really tell anything else outside of happy. So when him making that little catchy hook with I just want to be happy, that's very poppy. That's very catchy. He may not be doing it and putting in the devices, the money bitches hoes, but he's he did definitely do exactly what he said he's not gonna do. He just found a different way to do it, and also call out people who do it that way.
Yeah,
he really should have just called himself out and said, "Yo, I'm a fraud."
And this was before even Pharrell did his happy thing, because like I said, this is back in 2013.
In the context, technically, he still did the same thing he was talking about. He might not try to.
Yeah, and this wasn't even, the funny thing is, this isn't even the song that got him popular. That's actually in a later album. But yeah, so that's just I heard it, I listened to it again. I love John Bellion, of course, and so I wanted to put something. I definitely wanted to put something. This was actually the first song that I heard that when I knew that we were doing this playlist thing again. I had a playlist named September, and this was the very first song on it. I was like, this is one of the things I'm going to build around. And it ended up forming into this. But yeah, that's it for that.
Yeah, we look like fucking idiots, Justin.
Oh, what?
We look like fucking idiots.
I bet we do. That's us.
Turns out the guy that don't know shit might not know shit for a reason.
Honestly, I wasn't
from the new album.
Yeah, what I was going to
touch on. This was fun.
No, what I was going to touch on was legit. It's kind of a timeless song then in this context. If you're talking about just wanting to be happy, if he's talking about his girl was this and this is his hustle, I'm sure he still maintained that hustle. So now as opposed to me thinking he lost his girl, he might just be with a new one that completely understands, or maybe they reconnected because the money came around. It don't fucking matter. Bitches gonna be tripping no matter what. And by bitches, I'm not necessarily saying female. I'm saying males and females. Bitches be tripping.
Bitches do be
That's
tripping.
A non-gender specific bitch.
It really is. It really is. Just so we're clear.
If you got offended, then you're the bitch. That's what I think. That's what I think Justin is saying, and I agree. I agree with him. I agree with Justin on this one.
I've been cut. I got myself. Y'all please around me. I'm gonna go find that one video. I'm gonna go watch it. Good day.
Just relax and let it happen.
That's what I always hear. They ain't get me with that again.
Yeah, really.
But yeah.
All right, what's the next song?
All right, the next song, "The Fall" by the artist Bryce Vine from the album "The Fall."
Yeah, this one to me was really one of the smoother ones. I kind of loved it. I don't feel like Paul listens to that much R&B. this was as close as to R&B as I think he's getting. It still had that electro vibe to it, but really, this guy is just talking about the fall. Like he may have fucked up once, but if a new one comes around, or someone comes around, or a chance comes around, I just hope I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this one. As far as fitting into like the growth of it, I can say I tried to listen to this song and tried to pick out some hard-hitting, lyric, but nothing was really there for me. Nothing was really like grabbing my attention with this one. But like I said, the vibe, it flowed with the album. And when I mentioned like melancholy, like I said, a lot of this, it was really hard for me to not write this entire playlist off as like an emo, in your feelings playlist. Like it was really tough for me not to do that, because once again, I first heard it, I'm working out, I need something a little harder based, but multiple listens, like I said, for the other songs, I was able to kind of pull out some piece that kind of, painted the picture in my mind. Because the one thing about playlists is a person's going to make a playlist, they're going to have their idea, they're going to have what they want people to kind of grasp from it. But generally what ends up happening is someone's going to listen to a playlist and they're going to get their own fucking ideas. It may be a complete 180 from what that person had going on that created it. And basically each song will kind of paint the picture for that individual. Like I said, with my melancholy vibe that I was getting from the first song to the second song, that kind of popped it up a little bit, but still was kind of, it was okay. And then from there on, where all the heavy hitting songs, it just was like a cascade. And from there on, like I said, it was just kind of a simmering like vibe of where I'm just kind of sloping down, because this stuff is kind of negative. It's kind of tough to talk about. Any of these songs is, if you're trying to have a conversation with someone and speak on the subject matter, like just in real life, it's going to be tough. But this song, like I said, it just kind of flowed. There was nothing, in particular that I could pick out and be like, oh, this is going with the playlist. This is why this is there. Maybe, our man Paul's going to point it out to us, but legit, it flowed. It was nice. I just couldn't there was nothing that grabbed me in this song. And hopefully maybe you guys could point some out to me. Because like I said, there just wasn't too much for me to kind of hold on to with this song.
I like the song a good bit. Like you said, I like the vibe of it. Mm-hmm. I like how I was talking about in the song. He's saying, he sees the end's coming. He can see it on the horizon that's coming, and he knows that after it happens, they'll both be better off from it. But he's just hoping that when it does come, he's emotionally ready for it. And it's something that he's going to grow past. It's going to take some time to get past and get over it. He's just hoping that he'll be ready for it. And it is a very sad song, but it is a very realistic song. It's something that probably most of us have all faced at some point. The fall of the relationship or whatever. So
or anything,
or anything. Yeah, you could say it about anything. You could see the end coming. You could see on the horizon. It's not that far off, and that it probably is for the best, but sometimes you just got to get ready for it, and sometimes you're not ready for it all, and sometimes it's something that is easy to get over with. But I did like it. I don't know. I'd like to hear Paul how he fits this into the structure, but that's my thoughts on it.
Gotcha. Well, I don't think anybody really cares what Paul thinks, to be honest with you. At this point in the playlist, I've given him 6 songs now, 7 songs to try to do something. The one guy, I'm like, okay, there's Bryce Vines. Finally, somebody I know, somebody I really spent a lot of time with. We went to summer camp together. I figured maybe and then you pick the crappiest Bryce Vines song on his whole LP, man, and throw it out there. I mean, I get it though; it's part of that Growing Pains theme, so it fit in there. Like we've all had these things that where it's time to go. This relationship's on the rocks, but you're just it's like almost like you're just waiting for that trigger event. Like they know, we all know.
Did I unzip you?
It's time to go. No. Is that no?
I think you unzipped him.
Chad, we don't have to do it. It's okay.
Yo.
You know how long it's... You know how... First of all, I don't have pants on, so you can't unzip me. I'm pretty much already unzipped.
True story. Yeah. We're both Pooh Bearing over here.
So, it was that first song. That first song on the playlist did it. But But yeah, I mean, we've all and you're coming from, like me personally. What I took from this song is because I like to listen to each song and try to get where the artist is coming from, and then I try to get where Paul's coming from, and then I try to relate it to myself. So try to cover all the bases. So me personally, I've been with the same woman since high school. I mean, we've been together a long time. So I don't have a lot of experience in like breakups and stuff, relationship wise. But, there's a lot more relationships. Like you got friends that you kind of part ways with over things and, work relationships and stuff like that, so anytime there's that like acknowledgement that, hey, this thing is kind of crashing to shore, but nobody wants to pull the trigger and kind of, the horse has got a broke leg. I hope I can handle it when we got to put this thing down.
I told you he's unzipped. I have really unzipped him with this song. I regret it.
Bryce, if you're out there watching, man, look at this guy, man. He's putting you stuff on. He's throwing out the fall song, because he is emotionally damaged. And you struck a chord with him, so he's going to project that onto me. But we're tight, Bryce. So hit me up. Next time I'm at Dairy Queen, I'm gonna ask for you. Hopefully you're working that shift. So, but anyways, yeah, not a horrible song. Another thing I wanted to point out before we moved on that song, it's got that like really coarse like beat, like brr, and then it's made to be unsettling. He did a good job of weaving that little background I mean, it's just got a very like coarse beat to it that really kind of leaves you unsettling, and like at the same time he's sad, like kind of looking, but he's almost looking forward to the fall. Like, I just hope I'm ready for the fall. Like it's a foregone conclusion in his mind, and things are just kind of rough. Like, how things are right before something ends. It's always rough, and there's this animosity and this bitterness, and and so I think that's how we feel toward the end of this playlist, is that things have fallen apart, and we're just going to try to salvage what we can out of it. So
that's good.
Yeah. Thanks.
So the fall is not about things falling apart. He's saying that I hope I'm ready for the fall, like when you fall in love with somebody.
October?
That is what the fall is. It is not. Good God. Did y'all listen to the song?
Yeah.
He's like, so when the next one comes along, I just hope that I'm ready for the fall.
I thought he was talking about her next boyfriend.
No.
Like when her next boyfriend comes along.
Talking Jesus. Okay, listen. The reason the fall was put right after Eyes to the Sky is Eyes to the Sky was talking about how he got left. He's talking about Christina left me because of what I've been working on. So and that's talking about, hey, this isn't working for you. This isn't working for me. I'm having to put my everything into this. And so, you know what? I understand that you have to leave. This isn't good for both of us. And that's what the fall talks about. And the fall is, and like Chad mentioned before, it can be with any relationship. It doesn't have to be, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. It may be a friend. But it's also like, this is where I am right now. And where it fits into growing pains is after that breakup, after your girl leaves you, like most of us, or guy, whoever, your partner, whoever leaves you, you are broken. And honestly, I definitely understand how it feels to where I'm not ready for the fall. I'm not ready to fall for somebody just yet. And that's what Bryce is talking about. This is hard for me. I'm on my own now, but I hope that when the next one comes along, when the next real one, I hope that I'm ready for that fall for them. I hope I can fall for them. Yeah. So yeah, he's essentially ruined right now, but he's talking about I want to be ready for that fall. It's not about falling out. The falling out has already happened. He's talking about I want to be ready to fall and fall for someone again.
Yeah,
that's what he says. That's what he says.
Look, you're taking this whole I put my pet down. I hope I'm ready for another puppy soon. I don't get that at all, man. If you knew Bryce like I knew Bryce, you'd get it. But I ain't gonna hold that against you, man. That was a magical summer camp. That's all I can say.
Jesus,
he was there.
All right.
Up next, the song "Be Yourself" by the artists Taylor Bennett and Bianca Shaw from their album "Be Yourself."
All right, is it me again? Chris?
No, it's up to Chris.
Hey,
let's go. Hey, we back.
This is an okay song. I wasn't crazy about it. the guy, the lead singer, I guess Taylor Bennett, he sounds so familiar. I don't know if you've heard of the song by him.
He might sound like Chance Bennett, as in Chance the Rapper.
Maybe. Well, shit, I don't know.
Is it him?
It's his brother.
Oh shit!
Well,
Small
so
world in God's way.
But yeah, it's okay. Somehow we're following the playlist to be yourself. How after the fall is basically accepting like, hey, you know, I'm who I am. And I'm okay with that. So I don't have a whole lot to say about the song. It's an okay song though. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I thought it was a good song as far as once again I like lyrical content and he throws it out there. I mean the guy's got a good flow. First time I've ever heard of the guy. But he puts it out there and it flows right along. It's got a good it's a statement song, like this is who I am, like, you know. And let's be honest though, the best part of this song is the LP cover. Dude is sitting there in his little European bathing suit with 3 balloons and confetti. He's sitting on a bar stool, like kind of slumped over, and that was it. I was like, you know, hey, this is me, you know. And I think that you know, after where it comes in the playlist, like the fall is like, you know, kind of edgy and unsettling. This is kind of okay. So now that we've tore down that house, this is who I am. This is the person I'm building. You know, I got to thine own self be true, and that's kind of his version of, you know, there's a lot of descriptive stuff in there about who he is and what he stands for and how he ain't going for this and how he is going for this. It's a very definitive song, and it's got a good beat to it and everything. Probably not something I'm going to play at anybody's birthday party on purpose, but you know, thumb might slip. You know, you don't know. But yeah, all in all, not a bad song, man. I give it a solid. Who gives a shit?
Legit, I guess once I started like the last song where he was hoping, you know, when the next thing comes around, you know, he's looking forward, you know, it felt like maybe this was coming full circle. Like maybe there was that up, it was the down, like a little bell curve down, and then maybe it was going to pick back up and come all around. Because this song, I mean, really, he's talking about himself being bi, he's being all this stuff, all this different shit, how people, you know, would pick on him and, you know, whatever. But he is trying to be himself in this situation, which in the grand scheme of, like, growing pains, that's where you end up. Like, you have to, I mean, you have to get through it somehow to where you end up loving yourself or caring about yourself. So when with even the song title is talking about being yourself, he's trying to be himself, he's trying to do these things, he's trying to overcome this stuff, and he's better, you know, he's getting better for it. I thought this mixtape was, you know, was almost there. Like, it was, okay, we're getting back to the, you know, to that area. And then, I mean, really, this song set it up to perfectly just kind of, okay, that's the end of the story. You told a little story, you went through your trials and tribulations, and now you're up and out. Unfortunately, things didn't go that way. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna want some explanation for the last 2 songs from my man Paul here to kind of let me know what the fuck went on. Like, was this just a fly-by-night? Let me put this song in here to fuck some shit up. Why am I gonna put this positive song after, you know, like I said, the last 2 songs have been slightly negative, and it was just kind of making that turn. Like, you could kind of make that turn because this song was here. You know, like, okay, so we can look at it in a positive light. Like I said, I'm gonna need some, you know, some closure here, because
I have a feeling there won't be any.
Yeah, I mean, chances are, you know, he's just gonna build you up, give you a big old bad case of, you know, blue balls, and leave you wanting more or not wanting anything at all. I don't know what it's gonna do. But overall, song, the subject matter, very inspirational. Be your fucking self, do your own thing, even if it's tough, even if people are, you know, picking on you, calling you, your whatever. Which, let me touch on this before I forget it, which this album seemed very, like, geared towards a younger crowd, like, very young, and I'm talking almost like you play Fortnite with these kids every day, young.
Boom,
like,
dude. Boom.
Jesus.
You know, like, this is geared
like live near a middle school young, yeah.
You know, this is geared for a very young mindset. Like, you have a lot of stuff to go through. So it makes, like I said, this would have been that perfect, like, hey, you've been through it, you can make it through, you can be yourself, but then also, like, I feel like the next 2 songs are still that harsh reality. Like, they're still just, you know, and it is reality. So, like I said, I'm gonna want some closure. But like I said, it's okay. Fits within the grand scheme of the playlist, and I'm gonna pass it on to my main man, Cody the K.
He started.
Or is it Chris?
No, he started. It's bad. It's me. I'm not editing out any of this.
We screwed it all up. It's in our title, man. You expect semblance and rational thought from us? Come on, man.
You know, and I like how
But okay, so be yourself is very much the reason it's at this part is so after all these trials and tribulations, as I talked about before, after all the shit that you go through, you are going to learn in life what I was talking about earlier. You have to be yourself. Actually, there's another song that talks about it. Nobody likes you more than when you're being yourself. Like, if you're trying to, like, I'm going to use an example, and it's only going to work for me and Chad, but there was this guy named Danny, and I'm using real, I'm not
Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, Danny Bonaducci.
Daddy Bonaducci. Let's go.
So when Danny was being himself, we legit liked him. He was a good dude, caring dude. It was when he's trying to put on a persona, it's when he's trying to make you think that he's somebody else, is when we didn't. And, you know, he fell away. And I think that's very important as you grow. And Justin actually hit the nail on the head, is this playlist was for me, Justin, like as we've gotten, you know, as we're growing as content creators, we are actually getting a younger crowd. Like, we have crowds from all walks of life. So I think this is somebody that people who have been through it can understand it. But more importantly, I want the younger generation to hear this. Like, hey, this is where you are now. This is where you're going to get. This is what I wish I knew earlier. To be yourself, that it's very important. You hear Taylor Bennett talks about, like, you know, as Justin mentioned before, he was a bisexual African American that, you know, grew up it's just life was tough for him, you know, but they made it out and they're better than ever. And the thing about the album art that Chad was talking about is it's him stripped down. He's got pretty much no clothes on. He is not built. He's, you know, got this pudge over. And it doesn't matter. This is who I am. I am myself. And you accept me or don't, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be who I am. And personally, in some ways, I like Taylor Bennett better than his more well-known brother, Chance the Rapper. To me, I really, really like.
I really like Chance, though. Like, you were trying to put me. I mean, I knew of Chance. I just wasn't like sold on him.
Yeah.
But I remember you were like pushing hardcore for him. So to hear you say that about his brother,
yeah,
I legit didn't check out his brother because I was like, okay, I've had enough Bennett's.
Yeah.
This is, you know, like I said, the subject matter, the song itself wasn't that great, but to hear you say that kind of what makes me want to go check out his stuff, see what he's got. You know.
Well,
I like that you brought up the whole thing about us as content creators getting a younger crowd. Like, there are people now that look up to us for advice. Like, I don't have any kids, so I don't have to, you know, I've never actually had to give someone proper advice.
They're the last people that look up to you, your kids.
Right, never mind. But yeah, like, legit though, this would be a perfect playlist for someone struggling. Because I know a lot of times, like you said, there are people who, you know, we've gone through things, we understand things now. If maybe I could pass on some of that knowledge to someone who's struggling, you know, I feel a little better. It might help make their situation a little better. But like I said, this album seemed very geared towards that younger demographic. And it might be something that helps save somebody's life, you know, for whatever reason, or helps them get through a troubling time. So, you know, like I said, I still need my closure. I still need you to, you know, wrap this shit for me. So if you don't come correct by the last song, you know I'm writing. You know I'm writing, and I'm going to meet you at your house, and I'm going to beat your ass.
Two things. I think probably somebody in your life did try to tell you these things. Yeah. There's an uncle or a grandfather or somebody, a friend, somebody has been trying to tell you for a while about, like, just being yourself, and, you know, if anybody's got a problem with it, that's their problem, not your problem.
Nah.
Surely somebody has been that guy in your voice in your life. And second of all, if this playlist saves somebody's life, Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, was that a life worth saving? If the
Yee!
playlist is the thing that can carry them, I know people take music and stuff seriously, but when you hear a string of songs that other people struggle, some people music is an escape and it can help them and stuff and help shape them. But at the end of the day, like that's what the people who are in our lives who try to buoy us and hook us and ground us, that we so easily push off and ignore for this kind of stuff. So maybe in a way, yeah, it does reach them on that level, because you don't want to just throw somebody a rope. You also want to try to get a boat out there to rescue them. Then you got to get the helicopter involved, and then you want then somebody else is going to dive in and try to save them. And furthermore, whenever you run into people who are struggling and stuff like that, we want to use every avenue possible to catch them. You don't want to just throw them a rope. You want to send in the dive unit and get a helicopter and a boat, and use everything possible. So yeah, I mean, this medium is a good thing to reach kids, but I think the most impactful thing that we should take away from stuff like that is it gives us a tool set to where we can actually reach into people and try to help them. The people who are invested in them, the people, their family, their community, their friends, people at the job, you never know what a nice little gesture will do to help somebody. But yeah, I mean, your playlist, it is geared towards people who are going through this commonality that we call life.
Yeah, the thing that I want to say is that we have a family that can help us or whatever, but like not everybody has that, and we're not even like, so you're saying like we should listen to if we do have a family, like people who are close to us, listen to them, they know you best. But that's not in a, for kids, we rebel. That is what we do. So we are not here to listen to our family. We really aren't. And for some people, it's about the people that we see. The fucking Kardashians and them, they're never going to be role models. They never are. So I know for, Justin, and for me, I can only speak for me personally, but the reason that I do what I do is because I want to be that person for them. And that is exactly why I made Growing Pains. That's exactly why I put these songs on here. And that is why I wanted to start this off with Growing Pains. Like, hey, I've gotten to know you guys. Like, I knew people who, that you may be new to this channel, and like Justin's channel, like everybody is new to this playlist, but you guys, I'm getting to know you. And hey, you don't want to listen to your parents. You don't want to listen to your grandparents and family. Like, I get that. I was there at that stage. I wish I had. But listen to your friend. Like, I've been there. I know how you feel. Like, I've been there, man. I'm still there. I know the struggle. But it does get better. But it's not always going to be easy. There is no, hey, I made it up this mountain. Now the going down, the fall is, going to be super easy. It's not. And that's kind of leads us into the last little bit.
All right. Next song up, Before You, I Didn't Exist, by the artist FRND, which I'm assuming is pronounced friend, from their album Before You, I Didn't Exist.
I mean, y'all give Chris a round of applause, by the way, just for reading these things. Like, I feel like, that's a good job. Good job, my man. Go ahead and tell us what you think.
All right. Yeah, I liked it. Very techno-y, kind of almost eerie computer-like voice in the background.
Vocaloid, yeah.
I liked it. It's a very neat song. I've never heard this song before. I would like to hear how Paul fits this into his story he's telling us here in this playlist. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I mean, I've listened to it several times. It's a good song, but I don't really have a lot to say about it. Oh, but I did want to say, touching on something Paul said earlier, which I think was really important. Growing up, I know especially for me and Paul, being from small town, southern USA, your parents and your family is very important. And the church I go to, we have what's called Boys Town that comes there, which is basically it's an orphanage. There's a lot of orphanages, kids that come to our church, and something that really I was thinking about one day is like, if I have an issue and I have a problem, I can always lean back onto my parents or my family. So it's interesting when some of these kids, they don't have that. They don't have a family or anyone to lean back onto. when I say something like, "Oh, they should know better." Well, why should they know better? They don't have any. They don't have any structure. You know, they don't have that to lean back onto. They don't have that foundation that I grew up with. I have someone telling me this is right, this is wrong, this is how you should do things, this is how you do this. There are some kids that don't have that, and that's something that's hard for me to wrap my mind around. So I don't know. I just thought that was something important to say. Because some of those kids, they do lean on older kids, or someone like someone running a YouTube stream or something like that. They do look at them as influences, like legit hard life influences, because they don't have older brothers or sisters or even parents.
Right.
I just thought that was important.
Yeah, no, it was very, very good to say.
I mean, I agree with that too. And before I get into the song, yeah, I mean, I grew up, in a very hard and adversarial type situation. And yeah, you're right. The reality is people look to different sources, voices, influence, things like that. But man, how sad that the people who have the loudest voices that can't be heard. This is probably why there's so much strife and issue and division and so much in our country, which that's a whole nother podcast. But culture shapes a lot of lives and a lot of minds. So I think the people that are guardians, like content creators like you guys and everything, good on the people who realize that and conceptualize that, what they say, it's not just all, lighthearted and some of it is substantive, which kind of brings me into the lead into what I thought about this song, Before You I Didn't Exist. Just the premise of it.
I see what you have wrote. Don't.
I just loved Paul's face. Like, I just loved it.
The premise of it is pretty before you I didn't exist. Like I guess it's a song about somebody who is defined by their people. But when I hear it, all I think of, I'm just going to shoot out a bunch of random words. It's not really a sentence. These are just emotion words, like flashcards.
If you read that off, this is not my thoughts and opinions.
These are not his thoughts and opinions.
But it is Justin's.
I think of.
Oh Lord.
I think of like Japanese anime. Little gay kid at the amusement park. I mean, it's a cute song, but it makes you want to win a speaking spell or some kind of digital goldfish at a carnival, or some shit, for your boyfriend at the carnival. Not that there's anything wrong with that, hey,
Oh God.
but it's a very much a stroll down the boardwalk, digital. Just, I mean, I could find very little value in that song other than like it's almost like a Katamari type of
you love
feeling.
Katamari.
I love Katamari, but and like I said, not there's anything wrong with that, but this is something that you would find in like a love scene in a little weird tentacle porn type situation, if there is such a thing. So
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not.
So I mean that's kind of the vibe I got from it. I don't know anything about the artist or why you put it in there. I'm looking forward to hear why you subjected us to this, but I'm sure you have a reason and I trust you fully. So let's hear what Justin has to say about it.
That's definitely something to follow up. Like, goddamn, Jazz.
I told you this is Justin's thoughts and opinions, not mine.
He backed into a corner.
Why would you?
There's so many trolleys. There's so many trolleys in this town. I'm just trying to get it out there before I meet one head on.
The trolleys will finish the job. So, y'all, hey, R.I.P. to Chad.
I'm coming for you, Cody. I'm coming up there.
God.
Save me a seat.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. But what I do know is that I did like this song a little bit. I'm also a sucker for Vocaloids. Like, anytime you bring them into a song, like that kind of haunting, like little robotic voice, like I love those.
Like
this
a
song
speaking
though,
spell?
yeah, pretty much. That's exactly. You make a beat using a speaking fucking spell, and I'm in there. I'm fucking in there. You try to shit on my dream, but I'm gonna let you know I like that. But no, I mean, really, once again, I feel like in a playlist, sometimes the song's gonna hit. Sometimes you're gonna be able to pick out something specific that that you can identify. Like, this song has a place in this playlist. I really just felt like after that Be Yourself song, when things were kind of turning around, there was just like another song in here just to kind of, just be sad. Like I didn't exist without you. Now, mind you, it's kind of lovey-dovey. It's kind of like, hey, I love you. Before you, there was nothing, that's great. But I don't know, but I didn't really get that vibe. Like, I didn't get that. Like I said, it was kind of haunting to me a little bit. But overall, it's in there. Like I said, at the end of this, I'm going to need some closure. He's going to have to explain that shit to me. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. But like I said, I struggled to kind of find the point in this because maybe I wanted the mixtape to kind of have that happy ending. But as we know, life ain't always that way. So go ahead. Was it Chris that was after me?
No, everybody's already talked. It's me.
All right, then let's go. Get it.
So,
explain yourself.
All right. So the last one was about being yourself. It's about like so here we're coming to a close. We're coming to where we are about ourselves. We understand who we are as a person. Go back to the song before that, The Fall. I hope that I'm ready for the fall. This song, Before You I Didn't Exist, is that fall. It's when you've gone through so much you feel like you're never going to be ready for somebody else. You've come to terms with yourself. You've come to terms with who you are, and you find her or him. You find your partner. And when it said, and this, like the song talks about, Before You I Didn't Exist, it's like that is the thing about when you find your partner. I mean, your real partner, which, we have a couple people here who's been with, certain people for a long time. Chad's been married, Chris has been married, Justin, you've had your relationship for a long time. So like,
hey, don't put my business out there.
Some people know when they found their other half. And that's what this song is like, you're not an island. A man is not an island. You are not supposed to be alone. It's okay to be that for a little while when you're finding yourself, but that is exactly what this Before You I Didn't Exist song is about. It's saying like, before you, I didn't dream. I didn't there was so much that I learned for myself, but you are what completes me. You are that fall, and I'm here. I'm ready for this fall. And so I know that, you guys are talking about this is haunting. It may sound sad, but it's not. It actually is a very uplifting song. This is talking about, hey, I've come through the trenches. I've done what I needed to do. And you know what? I'm ready again. And you are that. You are that pick-me-up that I need. And you're here for me. And so there's Be Yourself, which is about you. You're good with yourself. But now we're on to I'm ready again. I'm back out there.
See, this is what happens when you live in a world without country music, man. Country music does that for you. It's the lovey-dovey, I want to consume myself with you. That's what that's for, man. You took this Asian hip-hop carnival ride instead of just Kenny Chesney in it. You know what I'm saying?
But I put a good song on there, not trash. That's the difference.
Where?
Right here, this one, the one that does exactly what I just
the Speak and Spell song.
Put some kind.
Really, how romantic.
I can't help it. Listen,
I love you.
It makes sense that you didn't understand it because that's all you listen to is country. But if you have a wider variety, if you understand music, then you get it. But,
hey man, Stephen Hawking love song, it's a plus.
Who is that next?
Shit.
All right, the next song is "Live or Die" by the artist Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan on the album Live or Die.
Okay, it's me. Now this one, I could listen to the other ones. I could kind of let them go. I could vibe with them. I could do whatever. Even if they weren't the best, even if they didn't grab me, I could still kind of be like, okay, this is all good. Literally, the fact that I didn't even realize I was listening to a Lil Xan song until the middle of the song. I'm like, why is this dude talking like he just is like a post-stroke? Like he has literally had a stroke and is barely managing to mumble out something.
Codeine, man.
And then of course I look at the song title, I look at the artist, and I'm like, this piece of shit ass song is on here. Now it is not redeemable in any way, shape, or form. It is ridiculous. Literally, the song title is what, Live or Die, Live and Die, something like that. And they're talking about without you, I'd live or die. I don't know. I didn't even fucking get into it. I couldn't even bring myself to to like even want to comprehend the lyrics. But that's also because of the meme. By the point this is put out, it'll probably be an older meme. But literally, when he was kissing that girl, Lil Xan was kissing the girl, and he was like it looked like he was kissing some glass, or putting his face against the glass. Like that shit. As soon as I was like, oh damn, this is Lil Xan with this girl, I just couldn't do it. I just could not do it, and I refuse to let Paul troll me again. So, like I said, he's got he's got to give me some closure with this, because this one fucked it up. This fucked it up, but you know, that's just me for now, and I want to hear what my man Chris thinks.
He's doing yoga right now.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, Justin. This is one of the two songs on here I just didn't care for. I could not get into this song at all. The chicken is just droning on, and I didn't care for it at all.
He's like, he knew what he did. He knew what he goddamn did.
But
fuck you, Paul.
I would like to hear what Paul has to say about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've listened to this playlist a few times, and this song's just I can't do it.
He's got some explaining to do. He's got some explaining to do.
I'm not gonna sit here and bash the song that much, but I didn't care for it personally. It wasn't for me. And I like, I like a lot of mumble rap and shit like that, but it's just so drony to me. Like the way the chick just does the lyric live or die, just oh my god, it drags. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Sorry, that's all I gotta say about it.
Hey.
Okay. Well, before we let Paul explain himself as what the hell he thinks he's pulling off here, I just want to say that Noah Cyrus sounds a lot better than her mom, Miley Cyrus.
Oh,
her sister?
What?
Her sister.
That's not her daughter? How old is Miley Cyrus? Anyways, so, and oddly enough, Lil Xan is not a Chinese man.
Mm-mm.
So we're learning a lot here in this podcast, guys. If you're not familiar with Noah Cyrus or Lil Xan, join the club. Neither was I. I've heard a couple Lil Xan songs actually, and yeah, the mumble rap thing. I mean, it's a thing. I always look back and I go, okay. Remember when you was coming up and your parents would listen to music and they go, what is that horse shit? That's not music. That's just beeps and burps and different noises. And we were just like, oh, it's our thing, Yeah. Your parents would look at you like you had 3 heads, because you listen to some weird stuff. So, I mean, I don't want to fall into that category. I'm sure Lil Xan has some kind of redeeming quality. But all in all, I mean, I like her kind of, her voice is not bad. She sounds like she might have a little bit of talent somewhere. Him, wasn't a big fan, but I mean, all in all, not a horrible song, but yeah, I felt like this is just like bad. You made a point with 9 and you threw this one in either just to troll these guys. Obviously, they know you better than me, so they know about your
look at him.
Look
at his ass.
Yeah,
I know he did.
Just eating it up, I thought you was playing with us with a little gay Asian parade, parade music you had earlier, but apparently this is the one. So
which there is nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. It's not derogatory. I'm just like it's a
nothing wrong with that.
The sky is blue. Not everybody likes blue. It's not a thing. It's just. But I'm curious to see what are you doing, man?
All right.
Is your arm wrapped around him?
Not yet.
Or are y'all just snuggled up? Oh.
So, Live or Die, Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan, I legit love this song. I put this song, no joke, I put this song on probably a million times, but I love Noah Cyrus. I think that she is very talented. She is very good she fits with the artist that she's making music with. This is her song with Lil Xan, who she's with right now. Lil Xan is unredeemable. He makes terrible music. He is a joke. He is just. I don't like mumble rap at all. And I think that because I've had people send me some Lil Xan stuff and be like, "Hey, try this one out. Try this one." I try it all out, and he just is not a good artist. And so the fact that this is one of those songs, like it happened with Lil Boat, Lil Yachty one time, because Lil Yachty, he's a bad artist, but he has one song that I like. That's exactly what it is with this song, and it fits in because for two reasons. So Chad was just talking about, and Chad actually helped make half of my point, is as we grow up, we are like, hey, this new music is just no good. Like, you should listen to stuff from back in my day. And, the song Smiling on the Surface, that was a song back in my day that kids nowadays might not like. This is a song that nowadays kids, the ones that I'm making this playlist for, this is something that most of them enjoy. This is what they're growing up listening to. Noah Cyrus is the new Miley Cyrus. Lil Xan is like, they are on that new shit,
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Who wants to be? Did we need a new Miley Cyrus?
Dude, she was huge.
No.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. She was huge. But as far as Live or Die goes, Lil Xan in this song is talking about he is very, he just is barely making it. Just like in real life. I mean, he is held together by a shoestring. And this plays off of Before I Didn't Exist is because sometimes we need that crutch. And she is that crutch for him. I know you're wanting a happy ending, but life isn't like that. We can have our ups and we have our downs, and we all live it. We talk about it every day. So a good partner, that's what they are. When I'm down, I'm taking my Xanny naps, I'm fucked up. He talks about if I took my life, he's like, I would just blow my fucking brains out, but he doesn't. She's there. There are times in our life where we are so down, we need somebody. And as I mentioned before, that is a part of growing, is when you realize you can't do this all on your own. You can't. We want to, especially as we're younger, we're like these young bucks that, I got this, I don't need anybody else. The older that we get, we realize, hey, I do need somebody, even if it's not a relationship. And as I was mentioning before, that is something that, I strive to be as a person, and I want to grow as, now that I'm getting older. And I talk to people who are older than me and talk about where they came from. And I want people who are, younger than me that might not look up to me, but be involved with my life in some way. I want to be that that rock for them as well. And that is a lot of parts of what this song is.
So all this growing pains and all this developing and all this coming together, you just end up like Noah and Lil Xan?
Sometimes. That's life.
But, dog, that last song, you dropped the ball. If you can't own up to it, that's cool. But I got my opinion. Everybody else got their opinion. And, it's your story to tell, but it's our story to recreate. Garbage song on my end. Sorry.
Any final thoughts from you, Chris, on the...
Nah, he don't need to. I explained it.
On the song or on the playlist as a whole?
Anything, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, overall, I think I really did enjoy this playlist. Again, like I say all the time, I'm glad we do these because there's definitely some songs on here I heard that otherwise never would have heard before. I love the Boy and Bear song, the Big Kid song. I like... Smiling on the Surface is a really, really, really good song. Of course, John Billion, always good. The Fall is pretty good. I like most. I probably like about 8. Like I said, there's only 2 songs on this playlist I didn't really like a lot. So I say you did a good job, Paul. I enjoyed it.
Paul, on this playlist, I feel like you invited me over for dinner, and you knew somehow you knew what I liked and what I didn't like. And you it's like that sushi dish that you're not sure what, it's just labeled fish. Like this, if I could just label this one, it'd be like poppy kind of, pop punk type. That's the overall theme. But I'm with Justin on this, man. You invited me in. I tried some things, sampled some things. Some I liked, some I didn't like. But all in all, it was good company. And then right as we're leaving, you shit on the doormat and just expect everybody to step over it.
You got them fucking sayings.
Fucking classy all the way to the
Water down.
And hey,
spray your cheeks.
I'm down with Noah Cyrus. I don't think I can name another song she did.
Spread the cheeks, Chris. So bad.
But all in all, man, I'm glad I came over for it. But hey, and to each his own. Who says that's not art? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people make money shitting on doormats. So
you're right. It always comes back around. Circle of life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
so maybe that's the growing pain of all. Is You know,
It be like
everything
that
was good, and then
It really do be like that though.
And then it shits the bed, and then you shit the bed when you're old.
right when you, that's
Right there.
the circle
That's
of life.
hey, metaphor.
Hey, you know what?
Paul's so mad.
Shit the bed as a baby, shit the bed as an adult. Yeah.
He's like, how dare y'all do like this? How dare y'all embarrass me? Oh, he gonna kill us. We did. This is the last stream. There is a trolley and a bus waiting on all of us right now.
Them Dade Bay County trolleys, boy, they get you.
Coming out of everywhere.
Yeah, they do. They cut. You just sitting in your office and one just
I'm
flies
dead.
right through your damn window.
I cannot.
You be walking to your car in the parking lot, them damn Dade County trolleys, boy.
So,
Oh shit.
so to
Come banking on the
reiterate,
corner.
though,
Woo.
to reiterate the point of like, you know, hopefully this playlist, you know, somebody might hear it and, you know, it might help them. It might save a life.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're gonna save a life that's gonna be full of Noah and Zan at the end, like I said, man, natural selection. You know,
Don't
maybe
even say it, don't
maybe
even
that
say
what was meant to be was meant to be. You know.
You rip.
Yeah, I mean, look at Cody. He went out with
Oof.
with an amazing playlist, and
R.I.P.
I don't think this playlist would have saved Cody.
Well, he got hit by a bus. Nothing
Lord.
would saved him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
The
if
talk
he'd been in
screener
the
come
bus.
back. The talk screener come back from that.
Nah, I don't think they're ready for it. I don't think they're ready for the results.
No.
Break a lot of hearts.
They got lost in the mail.
Yeah.
So who's up next? Whose playlist are we gonna shit on
If I
next
remember
week?
correctly, it's the young Chris over here. Young Chris gonna
Hey.
come through, bless us with a nice little mixtape.
Yeah,
I'll be dropping it tomorrow.
nice.
Tomorrow. Also, you guys, we will have links to each song that we reviewed tonight. That way, you guys can kind of listen along if you want to. We'll also put it in like one full actual playlist, so you can kind of just follow along on YouTube. Just open up a separate tab. That way, you know, you can hear that garbage dumpster fire of a track. That's number 10. Y'all can hear that, and y'all be like, Justin was right. Yeah, he right though. You know.
Pearls
Outside of that,
one.
yeah. I mean, outside of that, I guess we'll just close it out. I know you guys, like I said before, my name's Justin, aka Nasty Tom. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/NastyTimeTV. The links will be below. Really, outside of that, I'll pass it on to Chris.
I'm Chris. You can find me on Discord at Dr. Killjoy89 and on PlayStation Network at Dr. Killjoy89.
And I'm Chad, aka Cody with a K, aka Raspberry Corn Muffins. You can find me trying on different size shoes at Walmart. Even though I know what size I wear, I like to see what people say. Walk around with somebody else's shoes. I like to get my mile in before they get it.
I mean, he right though.
Sometimes
He
you
right
go.
though.
And of course, Paul over here, all in. You're already on the channel. I just really want to say I appreciate you guys, as always, for stopping in. Yeah, it's just so much fun, like making the playlist, listening to you guys' playlists. I'm very excited to see what Chris has coming up next.
It's gonna be a doozy. I'm gonna tell you.
Better have some Conway on it, man.
Yeah, there's better be some Conway, but yeah, it really is just so because everybody has different, like everybody listens to music differently.
Mm-hmm.
Some people it's more about the lyrics, some people it's more about the music itself. Some people, and what we found out tonight, get wildly like different. They listen to a song, and I think I don't know. I can't just predict myself in the last
That's interpretation sometimes.
It's all about interpretation, dude. It was so funny. You cracked, dude, with the fall. You cracked me. You guys cracked me up. Like he literally said what it was about. Y'all wild, but yeah, and that really is for real what I love. And you guys killed it, man. So you guys killed it. I'm gonna go step in front of a bus with Cody next week.
Cut Cody.
Cut Cody.
Too soon.
There you go.
Too
Cut Cody.
soon, Paul.
But that's it. Please remember to like the video if you were enjoyed it. It means a lot to us. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of my playlist, of Cody's playlist. Of course, we have Chris's coming out. So, go ahead and let us know. You can always jump in. We have a Discord link below as well. And if you're not already subscribed, go and hit that subscription button so you know when we go live and when the next video pop. But other than that, I just want to say thank you for joining us here today. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Right.
Wu-Tang forever.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's going to be forever to edit.